Hello again, everybody. The great debate has already started in this building and throughout the city. Will the Kansas Jayhawks be #1 in the country tomorrow when the new poll comes out? And if they are, do they really deserve the top ranking? I say no. Let me explain why Texas should leapfrog Kansas to the top. I have no reservation, folks, in disclosing my 3 top choices in that new poll coming out tomorrow. #1, Texas. #2, Ohio State. #3, Kansas. The Texas KU argument gets a lot of play around here, and I know there are differing opinions on this, and that's good. That's the way it should be. If you're a Jayhawk fan, you bleed crimson and blue. Fine. If you're a knowledgeable basketball fan, you know that Texas beat Kansas head-to-head and did so by double digits in Allen Fieldhouse. Longhorns overcame a 15-point deficit to win by 11. That's a 26-point turnaround. Texas has the best defensive team in college basketball. Bill Self will tell you defense wins out in this sport every time, and that's why Texas ended KU's 69-game home winning streak. KU was held to 63 points by Texas, 20 points under the Jayhawks' average in conference play. Look, being #1 in the country is as much about bragging rights as anything. We all know that. It means you're pretty good, but if you're 2nd or 3rd in the country, it means you're also pretty good. The coaches may downplay the significance of this being #1, but make no mistake, it is a big deal to the players.
And here you see the reach in.
Hopefully we'll be #1 by Monday. There's a lot of talk that they might put Texas at #1, but I can't see how. I want to get everybody's best shot because I think we can take it.
We was #1 all last year too, and don't got nothing to show for us. So, I mean, I guess it's nice, it's cool to be #1, but it don't really matter.
It doesn't mean anything. Somebody's got to be ranked #1, but if it happens, then I think it adds to the excitement going to Manhattan.
Well, we had plenty of excitement in our office tonight. We just kind of going back and forth on this, folks. I'm going to start with you, Frank, because I know you got some strong feelings the other way.
I do. I think Kansas should be #1 in the country, and I don't think Texas really has that much of an argument. Where was that defense when they got beat by 17 by USC? And they've lost 3 games. Now, the other 2 games they lost were to 2 Big East teams by a very slim margin. I know KU hasn't played quite the schedule. You have to remember the one game they did lose against University of Texas at home. Remember the emotional roller coaster they were on with Thomas Robinson at that time. The other thing about this team, Jack, they are the best all-around, deepest team in the NCAAs right now. And at this point, they look like a shoo-in for the Final Four.
Yeah, I think with KU, though, because of what's going on with Josh Selby and now Thomas Robinson, that,
right.
You know, you don't know exactly where they're going to fit in. Lance, your thoughts on this?
Well, you said only knowledgeable basketball fans would just claim that Texas is #1. Let me tell you why Frank and I are idiots then. It's because Kansas #1 in the RPI. They also have a better strength of schedule than Texas, which is going to surprise a lot of people. It's really a debate about what are the rankings. If you're looking at just a snapshot indication of who's the hottest team in college basketball, fine. If you want to put Texas as the hottest team in college basketball, that's fine. But personally, I feel like it should be an indication of what you've done this season. The Kansas Jayhawks have a better resume this season than the Texas Longhorns. They've only lost 1 game, as you mentioned, under certain circumstances, and to a team that's, quite frankly, one of the best teams in college basketball.
We kind of left Ohio State out of this conversation. Here's a team that was unanimous, the unanimous #1 team for 10 weeks. Do you drop them all the way down to 3? Do you do that? You're talking about KU being #1. They were #1 in the nation last year, and we know what happened in the NCAA tournament. I'm not into the numbers, guys. I'm not into RPIs. I'm not into the strength of schedule. I'm into head-to-head competition, and that's where Texas beat Kansas, so they deserve to be #1 in my book. That's all. It's just an opinion. That's all there is to it.
Here's the other reason I like Kansas as #1. Marcus Morris said it best. He said, I want to be #1. I want to have the chip. I want to have the target. I want to play from being #1. That shows me that they have tremendous upper-class leadership and great guard play. That makes them very good. Texas, Jordan Hamilton, no, we don't want to be #1 because they know what happened to them last year when they were #1. They got hammered and they started to slide down the polls.
They're 10-0 right now. They're 6-2 against top 25 teams.
Right.
KU is 2-1, okay?
Right.
They beat KU head-to-head. Now, you tell me why they shouldn't be #1, but we're going to get off of that right now because we